Good morning.
It's a question I always ask you at the start of the news conference. Any fresh injury concerns after the midweek?
No news. We remain the same, and nobody new that can join the squad, so all the same.
Fantastic boost to see Gabriel Jesus on the training pitch yesterday. You said him and the other 4 or 5 injuries that you've got not available for tomorrow, but how long before do you think Gabriel could be back in the reckoning?
I don't know. Now it's about making the steps day by day in a different surrounding. Obviously, he's been doing everything on his own. Now he's got players around him, very competitive players around him, and see how he copes with that. But he's full of energy. I love the reaction of all his teammates when he first joined us, and yeah, great to have him back.
Just to confirm that Odegaard, Havertz, midweek, Gyokeres and Martinelli not available tomorrow.
I cannot confirm all of that, but you are not far.
And are you hopeful still after the international break we'll have all, if not some of them back?
Some of them, all of them, I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of things that have to happen in the next 2 weeks, and everything has to be perfect. But I think we'll be very close with most of them to be in a really strong position.
It's Sunderland next. Sure to be quite an emotional game for one player in particular, in Granit Xhaka. He says that you changed him as a human being, both on and off the pitch. Could you give us an insight into the conversations you had with him, and what part of your journey did he play?
Yeah, I loved every minute that we spent together. When I joined, he was in a special moment, I would say, of his life and his career. And between all of us, we tried to guide him, to give him a different perspective, to make him feel loved, valued, and he responded in an incredible way. So he made me a better coach. He helped us to develop and improve a lot as a football team and as a club, and I will be eternally grateful because I have great memories with him.
Given the relationship you had with him, well, when he did leave in 2023, how reluctant were you to let him go? Did you try and convince him to stay?
Well, I already did it once, and then we extended his contract, and when he came in and explained the reasons, you have to understand the human being, you have to be grateful. It was a unique opportunity for him to come back to his country, to his family, and there were certain things that he wanted to experience as well, and I believe it was the right moment. So he was very honest, as he is, very straightforward, as he always is, and we find a way to find a good solution for all of us.
Where would you rank Xhaka's move to Sunderland in regard to the signings of the summer?
Well, with the impact he's having, one of the best, I would say. I think what they've done as a football club as well in the last few years is very impressive. The manner they've done and the decision that they've taken and how stable they look and how they have started the season. So, really impressed.
Someone you know very well is going to be in charge of his 1,000th game.
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola on Sunday. Can you just put into context how big an achievement that is, and have you passed on your congratulations? Have you had any communication with him?
Not yet, because it's on Sunday, but yeah, what a number, what a career, what an inspiration it's been to everybody in football, I would say in sports as well, and especially for me. So yeah, it's an incredible achievement. It goes in the history of the very best and the few that could only achieve something like that. And again, as I said, I think it will remain in the history of football for the years to come.
Final one from me, Mikel. Manchester City against Liverpool. Where will you be watching it, and have you got a preference over the outcome?
And just focus on tomorrow's game. How crucial, how difficult, and how tough it's going to be. And that's the first step we have to make.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dharmesh. Sam from PLP.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just on Sunderland, they're obviously having a really great season this year. I think only your side have conceded less goals in the Premier League so far. Has it surprised you just how good they've been, particularly at the back? And I guess, what are you expecting from them overall at the weekend?
Yeah, well, not surprised when you analyze them and you see how well organized they are, how they adjust things, the spirit that they have within the team. I'm not surprised because they fully deserve the position that they have at the moment. So we know the type of game that we expect to play tomorrow, and where the opportunities are and the things that we have to do very well to beat them, and that's what we're going to try to do.
As for your side, you keep on winning, you keep on keeping clean sheets as well. I guess the obvious question is, are Arsenal getting enough credit for just how good they are at the moment?
It's not about credit, it's about doing it, and once you've done it, do it again, and that's what we have to do. Today, train at our best, try to improve, trying to give a lot of clarity to the players and understanding of the game that we have to play tomorrow, and tomorrow is execution day again.
And how do you improve? How do you take it to the next level now? Because for every manager, you want to win and you want to keep clean sheets. You're doing exactly that. So for you, what are the improvements moving forward?
Everything, because you learn from your team every single day, from your players every single day, from the opponents that you play every single time, and that's information that is so valuable for us. And tomorrow is going to be a different game to Tuesday, very different game to Tuesday and the week before. So we need to read it. We need to understand very early what the game requires, what we have to do to be better than them, and hopefully beat them.
Thanks, Sam. Ian from TalkSport.
Mikel, you mentioned there the achievement of Pep Guardiola's 1000th game. With you being as young as you are and already having spent a considerable period of time as a manager, is that one of the things you're personally aiming for yourself, to reach that kind of milestone?
Well, I would be extremely happy and proud if one day I'm able to do what he's done in his career, because as you all know, he's been probably the most important person in my football career, and incredibly proud of him and what he's done.
You spoke very eloquently about Granit Xhaka as well. He came here after Euro 2016 and stayed for a long time. Do you think he was, in a way, underappreciated by the Arsenal fans?
I don't know. Certainly, internally, he had a lot of appreciation, and the more I'm laughing because I just visualize Granit, and it makes me laugh because he was such a character, huge personality, very funny, super professional, and one of those guys that can change the dressing room and the spirit of a team, and that's a superpower to have.
While you're in a smiley, laughing mood, I was trying to work out before. I think I've worked out there's only one team in the Premier League that probably could stop you achieving your goal this year, winning the Premier League. And I want to know if you agree. And that team's Arsenal.
No, I don't agree. I'm sorry, because any team has the capacity, and I'm sure the belief as well that they can do it. So we are fully aware of that. We know our strength. We know the things that we have to improve as well, and we just focus on that.
And last one, which is a more serious question. End of December, you've got Everton away on the Sunday, and then 48 hours later, Crystal Palace in the League Cup.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Very hopefully not.
As things stand right now, that is the way things are going. How much are you pleading with common sense to kick in from the people that do the fixtures?
Well, I'm super optimistic that this is not going to be the case, because from every angle, from the Premier League, from the EFL, from UEFA, all the time, the only thing that we talk about is the welfare of the player and the supporters. And if we want to maintain that principle, that cannot be the case, and we cannot play Sunday and Tuesday. So we have very positive talks to the clubs and to the Premier League, and hopefully we'll find a way to help as much as possible, because sometimes you cannot help 200 people out there that they have an issue. But for that reason, you cannot say, if I can help 100, I'm not going to do it, because what about the other 100? No. Help 100 if you can help 100, and the other 100, next time you have the opportunity, do it as well. And I think we need to be very thorough, and we cannot allow ourselves to put in that situation.
Thanks, Ian. Tom.
Hi, Mikel. Just want to ask you a couple of questions on Gabby, with him returning. He's obviously a very different profile to Victor and Kai, who will be coming back soon. So what traits is he going to bring to the team that will be different from what you have now in the squad?
Well, again, a player that is very unpredictable, full of energy, super competitive, a player that comes from a context of difficulty in the last few seasons for various nasty injuries. So the level of hunger, desire that is going to bring to the team is going to be amazing. So I'm thrilled to have him. I think he's going to add something extra to the team that we don't have, and make sure that very soon we see him on that pitch making an impact for the team.
And And naturally, when you bring in a centre forward and you add numbers to a certain position, it does lead to question about the players that aren't playing as often, or perhaps might play as often in the future. So, do you see a longevity with Gabby in the group, despite having Victor and Kai there in that centre forward position?
Yes, because we haven't had them, and now we don't have Victor, and we haven't had Kai again for 3 months, or the many forwards, and unfortunately that's becoming something that consistently is happening. So we need those options, and what an option to have with Gabby.
Thanks, Tom. Simon, from the Evening Standard.
Mikel, just quickly, it sounded like there you're hopeful you might have one of those 5 back tomorrow. Is that correct?
When?
You might have one of those 5 players: Gabby, Kai, Martin.
I didn't say that.
all 5.
Let's see what happens in the next few weeks. I don't want to give too much away.
I just want to ask something as well, a bit left field, but I don't know if you saw it in the States last week. One of the coaches in the NWSL was talking about her use of AI in helping her coach and pick her team and tactics. Obviously, we're seeing it in all industries now, but do you think in football we're going to see an increased use of AI in the future?
Yeah, I don't know just to make a decision there, but I think it's a tool that is super powerful. You use it in the right way, and if you ask the right questions, especially. So it's in use already for many things and many processes that can help just not a team but just the organization as well. And I think it will improve, and it will give us good insight or things at least to think about.
I know here you've got your football intelligence unit. Can you give any insight into how you use it here at the club?
I'm not the most expert on that to comment, but it's a valuable tool. We have developed certain things that, in our opinion, can help us, especially to understand ourselves better and what we do, and to evaluate what we do and what we can improve, and then I think it will exploit to many other areas of the club.
Thanks, Simon. James from The Athletic.
Hi, Mikel. I was just thinking about Granit again. You spoke about his force of personality. He was such a big figure here, a leader. And when 2 years ago you make that decision to allow him to lead the club, you've got a young group, and he's been such a big personality in that dressing room.
Mm-hmm.
How carefully did you have to think about his absence and managing that?
Yeah, it wasn't obviously an easy decision, because I knew the impact that he could still have at the club and the team. But then when you have one of those leaders as well, you need to have in the right frame of mind and fully committed, and him feeling that this is the best place for him. And Granit, when he expressed his idea, the reasons why he believed it was better now, or the right timing after everything that we went through together, to take another challenge and take that journey somewhere else, it really made me think whether it was the right thing again to try to persuade him to stay if he was having already such a deep feeling about it.
And is there sometimes a benefit if you have, a big figure in a dressing room and they leave? Is that a responsibility, a position that other players start to step up and take? And is that what you've seen over the last 2 years?
For sure, when you have such a character there as well, other players are taking different roles, and when that person is not there or that role is not there, some of the people have to step in, whether players are already there or players that we identify that we want to recruit as well, that could provide something different, because it's always going to be different, but it was a good exercise to do.
Thanks, James. Harry?
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Obviously, you want to win every fixture, and every fixture is massively important. But with this fixture, given that City and Liverpool are playing each other at the weekend, and there's that natural break that you get with the international break, do you feel like this is an opportunity to lay down a marker in terms of the title race?
Well, as you said, every weekend is crucial. There are weekends that, for other possible results or other games, maybe they are a little bit more important. But at the end, you need to just conquer a certain amount of points if you want to achieve your goals. And the 3 points against Sunderland tomorrow are going to be really tough, and we're going to have to really earn them.
And just back to Granit Xhaka really quickly, one of the things you did was alter his role. You changed his position, and Arsenal fans started to see the best of him. Would you agree then that previous to that he had maybe been misprofiled a little bit?
No, because obviously when we signed him, it was for the right reasons, because he was playing a different role, but he was excellent. When you see playing the national team with Leverkusen in a deeper role, he did very well, as well as the necessity of the team, or the understanding of the manager or the coach about a player and the chemistry that he can create around other players as well. And we believe that Granit's position had to be modified, and he brought him a challenge as well. That I think was quite positive for him to say, I'm going to show everybody that I can do it. And Granit needs that as well in his personality.
Thanks, Harry. Nick at the back.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Just a couple of questions on the international break. You've got well represented in the England squad again, particularly Declan Rice. Would you say he's in the form of his career at the moment this season?
Well, he's been super consistent and playing such a high level. And now we see him impacting the games in various ways, in different areas of the pitch, in different phases of the game. And this is exactly what we want. I think his role is growing at the club, in the team, naturally as well, in a really organic way. And he needs to maintain that because he's been exceptional.
He seems to work very well with the younger players too, almost as a mentor. Miles has been left out of this squad. Do you think you or he will have a word with Miles today just to sort of reassure him? Or?
Yes, for sure. I think we are here to support and help each other and to give a good perspective of the situation. And in case of Miles, when you look at his age, what he's already done, is just remarkable. So don't look at the one moment what is happening for you, because maybe it happens for the right reason, and today you cannot see it.
Thanks, Nick. George.
I'm Mikel, just one here. With Kai Havertz, when he is available, how kind of cautious do you need to be with him? So obviously he's missed the period, but then he did get that base fitness, I guess, in pre-season.
Well, let's see how he absorbs the load first when he starts to train with us. And when he's done that, obviously we're going to have to be, especially the first few weeks, with an eye on him to manage the amount of minutes and when we play him. But yeah, I mean, when you look at his record and what he's done in his career, he's played every single game. He's never been almost injured, and now we have this issue with his knee that it will be resolved, and hopefully he will be back with his best.
Thanks, George.
Hi, Mikel. Javon Cartos with Bench Sport TV. Merino has been in fine form when being deployed up front for you. Another 2 goals in midweek, another 2 well-taken goals. Will he be a bit of a selection here for you moving forward, maybe playing him up front a bit more often as well?
Well, it's always is when we have players of that quality, and we have found a way to play Mikel in 3 different roles already this season and performing in all of them. And yeah, he had a massive contribution the other night with his goals, especially with Victor out, which is great to have.
Thanks very much. And just to wrap up the live section with your son.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
With Mikel Merino, we obviously saw the 2 goals of the day. I'm sure you're surprised to have even played him up top with the options you already have, but injuries have caused that. What does he kind of bring to the table that maybe the strikers don't bring, or the strikers in general don't bring? Because it's not a natural position for him, is it?
No, it's not natural because he hasn't played before in his career, but he's such an intelligent and competitive player that he can adapt to any position. Because first of all, he's so willing to do his very best, to understand what he needs to do. He's always asking questions, and he's a winner. Wherever he plays, the only thing he wants is to win, to contribute to the team. And when you have that mindset, things normally go well for you.
And is he the kind of player, because obviously he doesn't start week in, week out, but is this just a representation of these kind of squad players? These are the players that are needed across the season to sustain a title bid or to sustain being in trophies across the season?
I think there are squad players, because that way we have built a squad that can have the capacity to achieve what we want. And their roles will change, and he's changed now in the last 2 seasons in different way for different situations as well. But the impact on the team remains very, very positive.
Thanks, Susan. We'll switch to 10:30 embargo tonight. Charlie from